Ever heard a mom ask, "Tell me about your biggest failure today, sweetheart?" It sounds crazy, right? But this simple question shaped a billionaire. Most parents grill their kids about grades, test scores, and homework. But Sarah Blakely's mom, Anna, asked a different question every single night. "So, Sarah, tell me about your biggest failure today," Anna asked encouragingly. "I totally bombed my presentation at school. I forgot half my lines and everyone laughed," young Sarah admitted, slightly embarrassed. "Fantastic! What did you learn from it?" Anna replied, enthusiastic. At the Blakely dinner table, successes were politely acknowledged, but failures, those got standing ovations. Fast forward 20 years. Sarah Blakely cuts the feet off her pantyhose, creating Spanx, and becomes the world's youngest female self-made billionaire. Coincidence? Not even close. Last month, Voido Insights analyzed the childhood stories of 200 of the most successful women in business, politics, and innovation. CEOs, Nobel Prize winners, Olympic champions, best-selling authors. The pattern was impossible to ignore. These women weren't raised to be perfect. They were raised to be unstoppable. Their mothers and fathers, too, focused on 16 specific skills that most parents completely overlook. These skills have nothing to do with getting straight A's or being the good girl everyone expects. I'm talking about skills that create women who command rooms instead of asking permission to speak, start companies instead of waiting for promotions, solve problems instead of complaining about them, lead movements instead of following crowds. Let's dive into a few of these failure-proof skills. Skill number 1, weaponized confidence. Not fake it till you make it confidence, but the deep, unshakable kind that says, "I belong here," even when she's the only woman in the room. How billionaire moms teach this: they celebrate effort over outcome. When their daughter fails, they ask, "What did you learn?" Not "What went wrong?" Research from Harvard shows that girls who hear "you worked so hard on that" are 40% more likely to take on challenging projects as adults as adults. Skill number 2 is the Oprah effect, masterful communication. This is the ability to make anyone feel heard, understood, and inspired. It requires practice. The secret is to start young. Let her order her own food at restaurants. Have her call to make her own appointments. Teach her to look adults in the eye when speaking. Skill number 3, emotional Aikido. Turning emotional challenges into advantages. When someone tries to intimidate her, she stays calm. When someone dismisses her, she responds with data. For example, at age 12, future Supreme Court Justice Ruth Bader Ginsburg was told by a teacher that girls couldn't be lawyers. Her response was to research female lawyers, write a report about them, and present it to the class. That teacher eventually became one of her biggest supporters. So how can you implement this? Here's the failure celebration framework that actually works. The framework includes focusing on courage, problem solving, wisdom, empathy, and future building. The most successful women weren't the ones who had perfect childhoods. They were the ones whose parents prepared them for an imperfect world. They learned early that perfection is the enemy of progress. Failure is feedback, not a verdict. Their opinion of themselves matters more than anyone else's. They don't need permission to be extraordinary. Here's your 30-day experiment. Start tomorrow. Pick one skill from this list. For the next 30 days, create one small daily practice around that skill. For confidence, have her teach you something new each day. Communication, let her handle one adult conversation per week. Problem solving, when she complains about something, ask, "What are 3 possible solutions?" Boundaries, practice saying no together. Make it fun. Document what happens. I guarantee you'll see changes within 2 weeks. Raising an unstoppable daughter isn't about protecting her from the world. It's about preparing her to change it. The world needs more women who start companies that solve real problems, run for office with solutions, not just criticism, build teams that achieve impossible things, raise the next generation of change makers. And it starts with how we raise our daughters and sisters today. Try the 30-day experiment and share your progress in the comments. Don't forget to subscribe for more insightful content. These ideas are not just theories. They're stories lived by thousands, from corporate leaders to grassroots organizers, each finding their path to impact, all thanks to foundational lessons at home. My mom always made me face my fears. Today, I do that in boardrooms every day, one woman said, her voice filled with appreciation. "Thanks to my parents' patience, I found my voice and used it to lead," another woman shared, with gratitude in her tone. Imagine a world where every daughter is empowered to rewrite the narrative, where her success story contributes to the map of global change. It may seem daunting, but it starts with a single question repeated over the dinner table, week after week. In each failure, there's a seed of success. It's what we nurture that decides the harvest. Stay tuned to explore more strategies for fostering resilience and innovation in the next generation.